Spider-Man No Way Home is set to underperform? There's always got to be a different narrative. Always. In most places around the world, we are going into, what, the 4th weekend for Spider-Man No Way Home? The film is still making a ton of money. It's going to win out the 4th weekend in the United States domestic box office. But wouldn't you know it, the film is officially now starting to get the, well, it can't keep going forever. I guess now it's a failure. It's underperforming. It's below expectations. It's only going to make 20 to 30 million on its 4th weekend. Okay. All right. It's going to make over 850 million in the United States alone after this weekend. Are we all looking at the same numbers around these here parts? Or am I missing something? Am I visibly this much of an MCU fanboy that I am missing something that's so evident that apparently I can't see it anywhere? Are we all just blind? Is it like what is going on here? What is going on here? How are we getting into the 4th weekend of a film dominating and still going to come out as number 1? And I'm seeing analysts and people on websites talk about how this film is going to fall short of expectations, when it's literally the biggest film of the pandemic era, and it's performing as good. Actually, no, it's surpassing most films before the pandemic. What has happened here? What is going on with people's narratives? Do we just need a reason to hate for whatever reason? Is that what it is now? Is that actively what it is? We just need to hate because that's what gets the clicks. Like, how much money does this film need to make in its 4th box office weekend to be considered a success? Considering that brand new films on their 1st weekend aren't even making this much. Right? You guys see what I'm saying? Do you guys see how the narrative is slowly starting to change now that I'm already seeing people actively start to flip on this film? Because I said it before the 6 weeks before we start to get the hot takes. Well, maybe the film isn't as good. Maybe. I get it, all right? I get it. It's time for the contrarians. This happens every time. People loved Final Fantasy 13. They loved Resident Evil 5. They loved all these games, just like all these movies. But once it becomes too big, you have to become a contrarian so you can continue, spinning the narrative, right? So you can be a little individual, a little bit more unique. And I absolutely hate this approach. I hate that this is what it's come to now, that this film is somehow going to be seen as a box office failure this weekend after already amassing $850 million in the United States alone. It's literally made more money in the US alone than the biggest box office hit of the pandemic to follow this film worldwide. And we're somehow going to spin this stupid narrative that this thing is a failure. But as always, the grifters gotta grift, and people will buy into that stupid narrative. I'm so sick of this. My God. It's expected, but I don't know why I always get surprised. I just don't.